Moving abroad isn't just about changing your address, finding a new apartment or a new job. It's also an emotional journey full of ups and downs. In fact, there are 5 emotional phases everyone goes through after they relocate. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through each phase so that you can navigate this transition with more confidence and ease. The first phase is the honeymoon phase. When you just arrive in this new city, everything feels so magical. New city, new possibility, new energy. You are keen to explore the streets, the food, local restaurants, museums. Sometimes this happened even before you move. Before you relocate, you will definitely have a vision for this new chapter. 8 years ago, before I moved to Vancouver, many people told me how amazing life in Canada is, so I really had high expectations. And after I arrived, it was May. The summer there was beautiful. But then winter came, it was brutal. It was raining for 10 months nonstop. That's when I realized that my expectation was too high. The reality did not match my dream. When we are in that honeymoon phase, we don't usually notice the emotional challenges because the excitement can act as a temporary shield from discomfort. How often do we see those beautiful curated images on social media? When you see that picture, you are thinking, wow, this place must be so amazing. It's like when you're taking a picture, what's in front of the camera could be so perfect, but if you turn it a few degrees, you can have a completely different view. And so how often do we walk into that postcard version of a place, and when the reality does not match your dream, it can feel really disappointing or heartbreaking. So the key to navigate through the honeymoon phase is to really adjust your expectation and adopt a beginner's mind. What is a beginner's mind? For example, when you just arrived in your new city, you go to a beach and then suddenly a beautiful sunset unfolds in front of you, and that can touch you so deeply. But the next time, if you go to the same beach watching the same sunset, it may not feel as special because you already have expectations based on your previous experiences. When you are in that honeymoon phase, what's really important is to let go of those rigid expectations, embrace a beginner's mindset, and simply just approach life with openness and curiosity, surrender to whatever comes your way. And eventually, the initial excitement phase, then we come to the second phase, which is the culture shock or crisis. In this phase, you begin to notice the differences, the language barriers, the culture differences, disconnection with locals. This phase can feel really isolating, awkward, or even frustrating. When you just arrive to a new city, you have to rebuild your support system, especially if you are an introvert. Maybe you go to those networking events, meetup groups, but sometimes you don't know how to initiate a conversation with strangers. You feel like you're invisible there. Everyone seems to have their social circle, but you don't know how to break in. And sometimes, even if you are an extrovert, you're very social, outgoing, you can build a social circle, you have new friends, coworkers to chat with, but you still feel emotionally lonely because what you're missing is not just people's presence, it's depth. You're missing the people who just get you without you explaining anything. And this is the space where we tend to compare those new relationships with our old ones. And this is where we begin to experience grief and regret. And that's the third phase, which is the low point. When you're moving to a new country, you're leaving behind your friends, family, your old routines. And sometimes you just miss the local food and the feeling of walking through your old neighborhood where you knew exactly everything was. And many people call this the homesickness, but it's actually grief. So often when we experience this grief, we tend to override it. A part of you think, maybe let me just go back. But even if you go back to your old place, nothing will stay the same. Because places change, you change, people change. You cannot override this grief by trying to recreate the past. All you can do is just to hold space for your emotions, meet those grief with your compassion, with your love, with your presence. because whenever you accept it, you're free of it. The key is to allow the grief to exist, meet it with love, with presence. The emotion that's arising in your body is not giving you information on how you need to act, it's giving you information on what you need to love. When we meet those emotions with love, it will begin to soften, it will begin to dissolve, and that's when we can come back to a place of regulation so that we can make a powerful decision based on our truth. So often we have that mindset, the grass is greener on the other side. When you experience challenges in this new city, part of you maybe second guessing your decisions. Did I really make the right choice? Is this really all worth it? But imagine you are the gardener of your life's landscape. When you see the grass is not growing well, it looks patchy, dry, or empty. A good gardener does not run away immediately. They will check the soil, add more water, plant some new seeds. After some genuine efforts, if the grass is still not growing, then they may consider moving on to a new location. But most of us don't do that. When we see problems, we immediately just think a new location can magically fix all of our issues. But without doing the emotional work, what you are running away from will find you again in new forms. So being a good gardener means that you have the wisdom to discern whether this place is right for you or not. And then you also have the skill set and the confidence to navigate through those challenges. And as you're navigating those challenges, you will slowly enter the fourth phase, which is the adjustment. And this is where you are learning new languages, exploring new traditions, picking up new habits. And a lot of people have the urge to fit in, but what's really important to remember is that true belonging does not come from fitting in, it comes from showing up as your true self. You are the one who get to choose what to keep from your old culture, what to embrace from this new one, and how to blend them in a way that feels most authentic to you. And slowly, as you are learning to adapt to this new place, you're being exposed to new ideas, new way of being, you will evolve. And this is where a lot of people experience this identity shift without the influence from your old cultural conditioning. It makes you question who I truly am, what's most meaningful for you, and this is an opportunity for you to redefine yourself based on your essence, not those external labels. Relocation is also a self-discovery journey. And for all of those years I was moving around the world, I kept having the same dream. In that dream, I was always at the airport with my two luggage. But when I was about to check in for my flight, I realized that my luggage were missing. I kept looking for them, but I couldn't find them. And I had this intense anxiety that I'm gonna miss my flight because I didn't want to go without my luggage. And then I shared that dream with a friend, and she said that was a really good sign because you're learning to let go of those emotional baggage you're carrying, and now you're ready to move on to the next chapter. Well, I understood that logically, but my body was not ready to let go. So often we have this logical idea of this is who I am, this is who I want to be, this is where I want to go. But if our body is stuck in a historical timeline, it will pull us back. That's why it's so important for us to learn to release, let go, forgive, coming back to our body, process those emotions so that we can liberate ourselves from the inside out. And this is also an opportunity for you to learn how to build a home within, no matter where you are in the world. When we say building a home within, this isn't just a logical idea, it's a felt sense in your body. And so often we say we need a car, we need a house, we need a relationship, we need a person. It's not really about those things. It's the feeling you think those things will give you. It's the feeling of safety, familiarity, feeling of connection, support. And the good news is that you have the ability to create those feelings inside your body. It doesn't have to be tied to a place, location, or a person. You have the ability to shift the energy in your body and creating that sense of home within. And eventually you will arrive at the last phase, which is the integration. When you're relocating, you're not just learning how to adapt to a new city, you're learning to live from different places inside of yourself. You're becoming stronger, more resilient, more independent, more flexible. And this is where freedom begins. You realize that home isn't a place or a house or a person, it's something you create within you. It's your ability to cope with anything that's arising in your environment. If it's this confidence you carry. And sometimes we have to leave home to find home to become who we truly are. I left home at 16 years old and have moved 6 times around the world. A lot of those moves were triggered by unexpected opportunities, and sometimes it was just this quiet voice within me and said, this is the right thing to do. And each time I give myself 3 months to test it out. If it works out, that's great. If it didn't, at least I tried. I had no regret. And eventually those 3 months turned into 7 years, 5 years, 3 years. Now I offer 90 days one-on-one support for those who are on a similar journey. I'm a relocation coach who helps people navigate the emotional challenge of relocation so that they can build a home within no matter where they are in the world. If you're looking to deepen this journey, book a one-on-one call with me. I will see you in the next video.